Welcome to the Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where every cup tells a story, and every story starts with a sip. Join us on a journey of adventure, camaraderie, and of course, the finest brews, served hot and steeped in mystery. From dragons to ancient legends, we're brewing up more than just coffee. Today's tale begins with the comforting aroma of fresh coffee, the clatter of breakfast plates, and what seems destined to be another ordinary morning at Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern. But when a distinguished traveling physician known as Dr. Crit and his goblin assistant, Nurse Gribble, arrive offering complimentary house calls for adventurers, the tavern quickly discovers that not every condition can be diagnosed with a stethoscope, and not every prescription comes in a bottle. As curious examinations uncover a surprisingly common affliction among the staff and patrons alike, our friends learn that the greatest medicine may not be found in a clinic at all, but around a table filled with laughter, fellowship, and stories waiting to be told. Now, grab your mug, settle in, and get ready for the next chapter in our brewing saga. Season 2, Episode 30 House Call. Morning sunlight filtered through the stained glass windows of Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, painting warm patches of color across the wooden floor while the familiar scents of fresh coffee, baked pastries, and sizzling breakfast filled the air. The breakfast crowd had only just begun to thin when Java fluttered between tables with a steaming mug balanced carefully on his nose. Nived emerged proudly from the kitchen carrying a skillet that hissed with perfectly seasoned potatoes, and Bradicus stood near the front door reorganizing the contents of his travel pack for what Patches insisted was the fourth time that morning. It was shaping up to be an ordinary day until an elegant carriage, painted ivory with deep crimson trim and bearing the emblem of a healer's staff crossed behind a 20-sided die, rolled to a stop outside the tavern. The horses came to a gentle halt as the carriage door swung open, revealing a distinguished older gentleman with neatly combed silvery white hair, a full, well-kept beard and mustache, and a spotless white physician's coat. He stepped down with practiced grace, followed immediately by a small goblin nurse struggling to carry an oversized leather medical bag nearly as large as she was.
Well now, that's not a sight you see every day.
New customers?
If they're here for breakfast, they're just in time.
I think they're here for something else.
Good morning. Am I addressing the proprietors of Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern?
You found us. Welcome, traveler.
Finally! Do you know how hard it is to haul a medical bag over mountain roads? That's a medical bag?
I thought it was a treasure chest.
Depends on what's wrong with you.
Forgive my assistant. Nurse Gribble possesses remarkable medical talents, though her bedside manner occasionally arrives by a later carriage.
Bedside manners don't stop bleeding.
I'm Patches. Welcome to the tavern. What brings a physician all the way out here?
House calls.
House calls?
Indeed. Adventurers rarely visit clinics until they're missing something important, so I long ago decided it was more efficient to visit the places where adventurers gather.
That's actually rather clever.
Thank you. According to my records, this establishment has become quite the gathering place for travelers, explorers, mercenaries, merchants, wandering scholars, and the occasional dragon.
We do get a little bit of everyone.
Then I've come to the right place. I offer complimentary wellness examinations to every willing guest and staff member.
And before anyone asks, no, I feel lucky today is not a valid medical history.
Complimentary, you say?
Entirely.
That's incredibly generous.
Good health is worth traveling for. Besides, I find every tavern tells a story long before the first patient sits down.
Then I hope ours is a good one.
Suspect it will be a fascinating one.
As Dr. Crit smiled warmly and Nurse Gribble wrestled the enormous medical bag through the doorway with a grunt of determination, curious patrons paused their breakfasts to watch the unusual visitors enter. Whatever had brought the traveling physician to Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, it was already clear that this would be a day unlike any the tavern had seen before. Within minutes, Nurse Gribble had transformed an empty corner of the tavern into a surprisingly organized examination area. She unfolded a portable privacy screen decorated with cheerful cartoon owlbears, set a polished examination stool in the center, and arranged an assortment of unusual medical instruments across a folding table. There was a stethoscope whose chest piece resembled a crystal D20, a reflex hammer shaped like a tiny mace, a thermometer that glowed with arcane runes, and several labeled bottles whose contents shimmered every color imaginable. A hand-painted sign leaned against the table reading, "Complimentary Adventurer Wellness Checks," no mimics beyond this point. Curious patrons gathered nearby, whispering among themselves as Dr. Crit straightened his coat and smiled reassuringly at the growing audience.
Who would care to volunteer first?
If no one objects, I'll go. Better to know what's wrong before someone else finds out the hard way.
Excellent. Sit down. Don't poke anything shiny unless I hand it to you first.
I wasn't planning to.
They all say that.
Tell me, Master Bradicus, have you experienced any unusual discomfort during your recent travels?
Aside from sleeping on rocks and being chased by the occasional monster?
Occupational hazards. I'm looking for anything less expected.
Nothing comes to mind.
Very good. Please take a deep breath.
Like this?
Perfect.
Pulse is steady.
Excellent. Reflexes, if you please.
Ow.
Good. Your knee still works.
Fascinating.
Is something wrong?
Quite the opposite. Physically, you're in remarkable condition.
That's a relief.
However,
There's always a however.
nurse, would you bring me the satchel scale?
The heavy-duty one?
If you would.
Satchel scale?
Nurse Gribble disappeared behind the carriage and returned dragging an impressive brass platform scale reinforced with iron bands. Bradicus raised an eyebrow as she carefully placed his backpack onto the platform. The pointer spun wildly before settling with an audible clang.
48 pounds.
Just the backpack?
I like to be prepared.
I see rope, 2 lanterns, 4 blankets, 3 frying pans,
Different sizes.
a spare bedroll,
In case someone forgets theirs.
3 hammers.
Different purposes.
And, is this an anvil?
A travel anvil.
Of course it is.
Master Bradicus, I'm pleased to report that you are suffering from an advanced case of preparatus maximus.
I've never heard of that.
Most patients haven't. The symptoms include carrying equipment for every imaginable situation, including several that have yet to occur.
That doesn't sound like an illness.
That's what they all say.
Left untreated, the condition often progresses until one attempts to pack an entire campsite into a single backpack.
That sounds efficient.
It sounds exhausting.
I have suggested more than once that he doesn't need to carry everything.
Last week he packed an extra shovel.
We were only walking to the market.
You never know when you'll need a shovel.
Fortunately, the treatment is quite simple.
Wonderful. What medicine do I take?
Remove 1 unnecessary item from your backpack each week.
Just one?
Let's not rush your recovery.
He's going to argue with the prescription.
I am considering it.
Laughter spread through the tavern as Bradicus looked thoughtfully into his overstuffed backpack, clearly trying to determine which indispensable item could possibly be considered expendable. Dr. Crit simply smiled and made a careful note in his leather journal, while Nurse Gribble quietly moved the examination stool back into place and scanned the room for her next patient. Before Nurse Gribble could call for the next volunteer, Dr. Crit paused and slowly looked around the tavern. His expression shifted from pleasant curiosity to thoughtful concentration as he tilted his head. Every few moments he heard it again, a faint but unmistakable click, clack, click, clack. The sound seemed to drift from every corner of the room. Patrons shifted in their seats. Someone reached into a pocket for a handful of coins, another adjusted a belt pouch, and each movement was accompanied by the same curious rattle. Dr. Crit folded his hands behind his back and smiled knowingly.
Nurse Gribble, do you hear that?
The rattling?
Precisely.
Rattling?
I don't hear anything unusual.
Me neither.
Interesting. The afflicted seldom do.
Afflicted?
Humor me, everyone. Would each of you kindly empty your pockets and belt pouches onto the nearest table?
Everything?
Everything.
Saves time.
A few patrons shrugged and complied. Coins clinked onto the tabletops alongside handkerchiefs, keys, bits of string, and travel rations. Then came the unmistakable cascade of polished resin, stone, metal, wood, and glass as dozens upon dozens of dice spilled across the tables. Every shape imaginable rolled in every direction, bouncing off mugs, plates, and one another until the tavern echoed with the familiar click-clack melody. Java blinked in surprise as several tiny dice tumbled from beneath one of his wings, while Nived quietly emptied two pockets he had apparently forgotten contained matching sets of flame-colored dice.
Aha!
There it is.
Well, that's embarrassing.
I forgot those were there.
These are my cooking dice.
Cooking dice?
I use them for inspiration.
Naturally.
I only carry one little pouch.
Open it.
If you insist.
Patches untied the small leather pouch at her belt and poured its contents onto the table. Instead of the handful she expected, a surprising collection of brightly colored dice continued spilling out until they formed a neat little pile along with a respectable collection of healing herbs.
I don't remember putting that many in there.
Enchanted storage pouch?
Of course. It's the only kind to have.
Quite common.
I only carry one emergency set.
Define 1.
1. Pouch.
Open it.
Bradicus loosened the drawstring on his sturdy belt pouch. A torrent of dice poured onto the table, then onto the floor, continuing long enough that several patrons instinctively lifted their boots to avoid the colorful avalanche. The last heavy metal D20 landed with a loud clunk before spinning triumphantly to a stop. On a nat 20.
That's considerably more than one set.
I didn't know they all fit in there.
Neither did I.
Remarkable.
Textbook case.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe I've identified the first shared condition in this establishment.
Shared?
Quite shared.
Dr. Crit reached into his medical bag and withdrew a polished crystal orb mounted in an ornate brass frame.
This diagnostic scrying sphere detects magical compulsions, lingering enchantments, and certain behavioral curiosities. If you'll indulge me.
Everybody stand still.
Dr. Crit gently waved the glowing crystal across the room. Soft blue light swept over each person before gradually shifting into brilliant shades of ruby, emerald, sapphire, and gold. Tiny translucent images of polyhedral dice appeared within the light, circling lazily around nearly every patron before drifting toward their owners like playful fireflies. Murmurs spread through the tavern as everyone watched the impossible display.
Just as I suspected.
What does it mean?
You are all exhibiting the classic signs of chronic polyhedral acquisition syndrome.
Is it serious?
That depends.
On what?
How many unopened sets of dice are waiting at home?
An uncomfortable silence settled over the tavern. Several patrons suddenly found the grain of the wooden tables fascinating, while Bradicus quietly cleared his throat and Patches did her best not to smile. Dr. Crit exchanged a knowing glance with Nurse Gribble, who simply nodded as though she had seen this very reaction hundreds of times before. Let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors.
I walked into the clinic with a backpack full of shame. Had 20-sided symptoms and a dice goblin brain. The nurse said, "Sir, relax, now we can help your condition." Then the doctor rolled a nat 1 on my intervention. He said, "Your pulse spikes hard at tabletop nights. Your wallet's weak, but your math rocks shine bright. I checked your charts and your party breathe." Then he wrote me a script that simply reads, Dr. Crit said, "Roll another die. Take 2D Jamies if your morale is running dry. Side effects include happiness and spending all your gold. But click-clack therapy is good for the soul." Dr. Crit, prescribe more dice and I lost my grip. My wife won't understand till the healer admits I'm medically required to buy more crits.
And now, back to our show. A mixture of nervous laughter and guilty glances spread through the tavern as Dr. Crit carefully returned the glowing scrying sphere to his medical bag. Nurse Gribble produced a clipboard and began checking boxes with astonishing speed, occasionally glancing up to compare the growing piles of dice with her notes. Dr. Crit, however, appeared neither alarmed nor disappointed. Instead, he wore the patient smile of someone who had seen this peculiar condition many times before.
So, how bad is it?
I've seen much worse.
Worse than this?
I once treated a wizard who accidentally built an addition onto his tower just to store his gemstone dice.
That does sound serious.
He still ran out of room.
Is there a cure?
No, I'm saddened to say.
None at all?
None that I've found.
That's unfortunate.
I didn't say there wasn't a treatment.
There's a difference?
A considerable one.
The cure gets rid of the problem. The treatment helps you live with it.
Precisely.
Well then, what's the treatment?
Balance.
Balance?
Spend time with good friends. Share stories. Laugh often. Enjoy adventures. Play games for the fellowship they create rather than simply collecting the tools required to play them.
That sounds surprisingly reasonable.
There is one additional recommendation.
I knew there'd be another one.
Acquire new dice responsibly.
Responsibly, Ish.
Nurse.
I was helping.
What counts as responsible?
Ask yourself one simple question before every purchase.
Which is?
Will these dice bring me joy around the table, or am I merely enchanted by shiny math rocks?
That's actually a difficult question.
It's a good one, though.
Most worthwhile questions are.
So you're not telling us to stop buying dice?
Certainly not.
Really?
Dice are meant to be used. Stories are meant to be shared. Joy is meant to be celebrated. Problems only arise when collecting becomes more important than the adventures those dice were purchased to enjoy.
And when you can't close your dresser drawers anymore.
Hypothetically speaking?
Hypothetically.
Of course.
Good.
Because if the condition advances much further,
What happens?
patients begin carrying emergency dice.
I have emergency dice.
So do I.
Mine are in my satchel.
I keep mine in 3 different places.
Advanced cases.
Very advanced.
The room erupted with laughter once again, and even Dr. Crit chuckled as he looked around the tavern. Whatever embarrassment the patrons had felt only moments before had melted away into cheerful camaraderie. The physician could see exactly what he had hoped to find, not a room full of people obsessed with collecting objects, but a community brought together by imagination, friendship, and the simple joy of gathering around the table. As the laughter gradually faded, Dr. Crit began returning his instruments to the oversized medical bag while Nurse Gribble expertly folded the examination screen with practiced efficiency. The breakfast rush had long since given way to relaxed conversation, and nearly every patron had lingered well past the end of their meal. Dice still rested in colorful piles across the tables, but now they were being picked up, admired, traded, and rolled simply for the fun of hearing them dance across the wood. Dr. Crit paused before closing his bag, looking around the tavern one final time with quiet satisfaction.
Dr. Crit, may I ask you one more question?
Of course.
If there's no cure, why do you keep traveling from tavern to tavern?
Because most people think they're coming to see me about a disease.
And they aren't?
Rarely.
Then what are they really coming for?
A reminder
A reminder of what?
that healing isn't only found in medicine. Sometimes it's found around a table with good food, warm coffee, trusted friends, and a story waiting to be told.
So the dice aren't really the point.
Never were.
They're just easier to carry than friendships.
Though considerably heavier in large enough quantities.
I think I like your kind of medicine.
So do I.
You're welcome here anytime.
Thank you. That may be the finest prescription I've received all year.
We should probably leave before someone asks me to inventory all these dice.
I was actually going to.
Don't.
Fair enough.
Until our paths cross again, my friends, may your cup stay full, your heart stay light, and your adventures always lead you home.
Safe travels, Dr. Crit.
Come back when you're hungry.
Or whenever you need a place to rest.
We'll keep a chair by the fire waiting.
I have no doubt you will.
Dr. Crit tipped his hat before climbing into the waiting carriage, while Nurse Gribble gave one last wave and carefully secured the enormous medical bag beside her. With a gentle snap of the reins, the horses started forward, carrying the unusual pair down the forest road until the carriage disappeared beyond the trees. Inside the tavern, the morning slowly returned to its familiar rhythm. Coffee was poured, breakfast plates were cleared, and conversations resumed, though now accompanied by the occasional cheerful rattle of dice rolling across a nearby table. Bradicus quietly opened his backpack, looked thoughtfully at its crowded contents, and after a long moment reached inside. Everyone watched with hopeful anticipation as he slowly withdrew a fourth frying pan.
I don't remember that one.
Neither do I.
Bradicus.
What? Dr. Crit only said to remove one unnecessary item each week. He never said I couldn't discover another one.
The tavern burst into laughter one last time as Bradicus proudly tucked the newly rediscovered frying pan back into his already overstuffed pack. Outside, far down the road, Dr. Crit smiled to himself as if he had somehow heard the laughter on the breeze. Some prescriptions weren't meant to change who people were, they simply reminded them to treasure the companions with whom they shared the journey.
Don't forget to hit the like button.
Yeah. And maybe drop a comment. It's like getting something in the mail. Gotta love getting some mail from your friends, right?
Maybe they don't like us, Nived. You shouldn't expect everyone to like us.
Not like us? Inconceivable. Who doesn't like a team as amazing as us? Or baby dragons at the very least.
We must let them decide. We can only play our part. And hope.
The fire is low, the mugs are empty, and tonight's tale has come to an end. But the journey is far from over. Thank you for gathering with us at Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where adventure brews with every sip. Join us next time as new challenges arise, mysteries deepen, and the magic of the tavern unfolds. If you enjoyed this taste of adventure, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a new episode. We'll save a seat for you at the tavern. See you soon.